This is your place for all things Grand Rapids Griffins and all things Toledo Walleye. This is the Hockeytown West podcast with your hosts, Brandon Cook, Nick Harrington, and Travis Foch.
Well, it's been all summer, and we haven't talked about the Toledo Walleye once on the show. So we were well overdue for this episode. We have a ton to talk about on this one. Plus, we have a fun interview with the Walleye equipment manager, Adam Wozniak. This is a fun episode for us. I couldn't think of a better way to kind of bring the Toledo show back than doing something like this, where we just throw everything at the wall for fans to catch up on here. So I'm excited. I think you're excited. Welcome back, everyone, to the Hockeytown West podcast, your source for everything Grand Rapids Griffins and Toledo Walleye hockey. And we're not going to dilly-dally around too much. We talked about all the adventures we had in Toledo this past weekend on our last episode featuring Trey Augustine. If you haven't seen that yet, make sure you go check it out. Great interview with him. Excited to bring you guys another interview today, this time with Adam Wozniak in the equipment room between him and Travis. What a fun time for you to get to go do that. Not that you haven't been in there before, but getting to sit and chill in there is kind of a cool experience, isn't it?
It is cool. It was really nice of the team to let us do that in the middle of the summer. They're just so great to work with for us. They've been like the best as far
Unreal.
like just lining up interviews. Like anytime we ask, they just make it happen, and a lot more of them lately at the Huntington Center. So even more special. Although it was really weird walking in there because like we walked out on the bench and then A, all the lights were off, and B, there was no ice and there was no glass. So it was just very different. It was a very different experience in there.
I'll never forget the first time walking into Van Andel with no ice. The lights are off in the bowl. It's like, this is kind of creepy. So yeah. I'm glad you got to experience that, but it's fun. Like Nick and I got to do the interview with Dog in the locker room. You got to do one with Woz in the locker room. It was just the right thing. So we're going to toss it to him here in a little bit, but we're going to kind of give you guys the full rundown of who has Toledo signed so far, because there's been a lot. There's still more to come, as we can all imagine down the road here, but we're going to at least give you the update. I think say about maybe the halfway point of the roster at this point is probably the best way to describe it. So I'm going to toss it to you for each guy, Trav, to give me the rundown. We're going to start with the most obvious one, the guy that's the ink's barely dry on that paper before the announcement every year. It's probably the first piece of paper he signs after the season's done. Brandon Hawkins back for another season with the Walleye. As expected, I think nobody expected him to go anywhere else.
Yeah, he's the mayor. He's the captain, right? Like, that's like, if you could sign a multi-year deal, he probably would have signed to the max term, right? Allowable, but you have that. He's a diesel engine that runs the team. I think everybody knows that. So it's great. I think this is year 6 for him this coming year. So it'll be great to see him back in new uniforms.
Yeah, we'll talk about that a little bit later too. Next one would be Sam Craggs returning for another season, and this one also not really a surprise to anybody.
Yeah, it's just like for me, it was just like a matter of like, okay, how long is everybody gonna play, right? Like you've seen Keenan go. He figured Craggs, like Keenan retired. Like I didn't know, like, okay, is Craggsy going to keep playing? If he's going to keep playing, it's going to be here. Like that's very obvious. Seems like he's got a great connection here with the fans and all, like, with what he does outside of the team, I'm sure too. But another key piece, so no veteran, right? So 2 veterans, their first 2 signings. Very big voice in the room. Great person too. So like you need that veteran leadership. I think they know that. It's one thing they've preached for years is having that veteran core and that veteran leadership group. So they got 2 guys back, and maybe I'm sure they're gonna maybe hope that he can like maybe get closer to 20 goals like he did a few years back.
Yeah, he's one of those guys that when he's on.
Yeah.
So as long as he can be on, it's great to have him back. And like you said, it's part of that core. It's that leadership core, and having those voices in the room sometimes can almost be worth more than the points that they're putting on the score sheet, right?
Correct.
Especially when the season gets tough and you get to those tough times of the year in the playoffs. It's a guy you want around, and it's a guy that's not afraid to play physical and go to the net when he needs to, and it's just a good piece to have.
That's where he excels. That I will say quick, that's where he excels the most, is when he's in front of the net, within 5 feet of the net. That's where he scored a lot of goals in his career. So that's a key thing that you brought up.
Yeah, 100%. Now, the next one comes from the Walleye Factory, also known as BG, but you got Jaden Grant.
Very, very good center down the middle. Very good at the faceoff dot. That's probably the two things that stood out. 47 points in 141 games in college. Kind of similar production to what Tanner Kelly produced at Michigan State. So you're looking for somebody to maybe fill that role that he took on. I don't know if Grant's the guy. There's going to be new faces this year. There's also a lot of returning guys, but I like his size down the middle. That's the biggest thing. I would assume that he's going to slot into a center role. If not, this dude's going to be just a pain to play against on the wing. But for how good he was in the faceoff dot in college, I would assume that he's going to play center. And that's one thing for me that this team has lacked at times is like winning faceoffs. They go through stretches, but it's that consistency where they kind of struggled in the past. I think this guy could be a guy that's going to give you a plus positive as far as faceoff percentage.
Tell me about it, man. I cover the Grand Rapids Griffins. Anyways, out of the next guy here, out of Penn State, we got Ben Schoen. I'm pretty sure that's how you pronounce that last name there. But judging by the production at Penn State, looks to be another exciting piece.
Yeah, he had a great year, or 5 years. I think he only actually played in 4 at Penn State because he missed an entire season due to an injury. But he's a local kid. He's from Maumee. So it's another cool little story of another hometown guy playing for the Walleye. You think back the last few years, you've had Dickinson last year. You had Meyer a few years before that. So the local kids playing for their hometown team is a cool element. And he's got some offensive skill.
Yeah, you can definitely see that looking at the stats. And again, it's with players in the ECHL, it's so hard to look at stats if they haven't played pro yet and go, what are they going to do? Because you might find a guy that scored 10 goals in his entire college career, then he shows up to the ECHL and puts in 40. Like, you just don't know until they're out there. Exactly. So you don't know. So we can't predict. It's going to be a lot of unknown, but a lot of excitement when there's this many new faces too. And speaking of a new face here, you got Cooper Zeke, who came out of the EIHL.
Yeah, coming from overseas. I think this is your Riley McCourt replacement.
I like that.
Is kind of the vibe I get. You see the little clips, he's got that, offensive instinct. So we'll see how it translates, right? Coming back to the coast. So I don't know a whole lot more on him other than that.
Yeah, like we said, it's a lot of unknown as we go through these guys. But the next one we know pretty darn well, and one that I think we were both shocked to not see signing an American League deal with Dylan Moulton re-signing with the Walleye.
Yeah, I was stunned when I saw this come across the board. I thought for sure he would get an American League contract. How many times did Hawks say to us last year he's an AHL defenseman? We heard how much Manitoba really liked him when he was up there too. So that was one that it was surprising. But again, we'll reap the benefits of it. Amazing player. He's really good defensively. I would say, honestly, I think last year as a whole, I think he was their best defenseman. Like, defensively sound. He was their most consistent defensive defenseman. And then as the year got on, he started to find his groove offensively. The one night, I forget who it was against, where he scored with like 30 seconds left, shorthanded. And I want to say maybe it was Fort Wayne. I can't remember off the top of my head, but he showed that ability last year to play two ways, chip in a little bit offensively. But all in all, he's a great, well-rounded defenseman.
Yeah, no, for sure. And another familiar face with Brandon Cruz coming back too. It's good to catch up with him a little bit at Hawks Golf Outing as well and chat with him. I haven't got a chance to talk to him too much, so good to kind of get to know him as a dude, not just a player on the ice.
Yeah, another guy too that, he missed half the year last year. He's coming off of an injury. And so one thing I asked him at the thing, I'm like, how do you feel? He's like, I feel healthy, which I think, you think back to where he was going the year they went to the finals, and then he, played with an injury through the finals, and then, he missed the beginning of the year last year. He's healthy. He's had a whole summer to train, when you're rehabbing, you can only do so much training, right? You're rehabbing and, you're trying to get healthy. Now you get a whole summer to train. So I think you're going to see a big pop in Cruz. And he was good last year in the games that he played, right? 15 points in 23 games, just the one goal.
He went on that little run there too, I remember.
Yeah. The one thing for him that I want to see more of is shoot the puck. Like,
just keep shooting it. He's got a great shot. He's just got to keep doing it.
He just defers the pass a lot. I think
he is a good setup guy.
He's a good setup guy, but trust your shot. That's the one thing for him. Trust your shot.
The funniest thing with him is anytime, like, except for that run there when he scores, it's like the shot that you don't think it was a shot that was going to go in.
Oh, when he scored from the boards? Yeah, he just like passed it. It was like a pass more so than a shot. Yeah.
But it works. Like, just keep putting the puck towards the net, Cruiser, and it'll be a good year for him. But excited to have him back, and also really excited to see Garrett Van Wy coming back to the Fish again.
Yeah, I was really happy they got this done. I think this was a great piece. Obviously, like, we know what happened with the trade and so on and so forth. Let's just wash that, right? You win some, you lose some.
We're not going to talk about it.
It is what it is.
We're going to forget about it.
This is the one piece that you got, and quite frankly, he was an incredible add for this team. I think it was a very, very important piece that they got last year. I think it really helped them. You look at his production, he had 9 goals, 6 assists, 15 points in 21 games, and that's just the regular season. And he's got a big voice in the room too. I think, he wore a letter in Jacksonville for many seasons. So he's got, he's that part of that, veteran group, I guess you could say. He's not technically a veteran by games played, but, he's got that presence, right? And that, I think, calmness and the ability to play in every situation, I think, is the biggest thing for him. His first game here, he's on the power play, he's killing penalties. He plays in all situations. So I think that him in a full season here, I think he's going to have a big year.
Yeah, no, I agree. And he's got that size to him too, that Walleye fans love to see.
Yeah.
That's a big body, and he knows how to use it the right way. So great to see him back in. It's also good to see that we're keeping it funky and bringing back Riley Funk as well.
My favorite signing of the season so far.
The
way he was playing in the playoffs.
Yeah, it's up there. Yeah.
The way he played in the playoffs, I'm like, this guy, if he's back next year, this is breakout candidate, total monster season, possibly. I just think he uses his size really well. He gets to the front of the net. Now it's just going to be a matter of, can he put the pieces together in a production standpoint, to maybe take that next step, because his motor is unbelievable. He does not stop. He just hounds and hounds and hounds. I think he's a really good young player that's got a bright future.
Yeah, I totally agree. I'm really excited to see what he does this season. And I think we only just started to see what he was capable of at the end of last season. So really exciting, and exciting to see a familiar face come back to the team after a couple seasons away in Quinn Preston. I didn't know much about him. Obviously, I didn't know much about the Walleye when he played here, but doing more research on him, I'm really excited to see what he's capable of seeing, especially what he did on a not so good Kalamazoo team these past few years.
Yeah, it's a huge piece. This is the one guy that's like, everybody's always like, well, when's the big name coming? Like, well, that's a pretty big name. Like, you look at a guy like, I think last year when you looked at guys from around the league that came, you're like, okay, well, where's the like big time production at? And that was the one thing, like, we said last year, was like, where are the goals going to come from? This is a good start here. Like, getting Quinn Preston, he scored 21 goals last year, had 53 points in 69 games, like you said, for Kalamazoo. Not the greatest team. Put him in an environment where he's playing with great players and a team that, in years past has really played well offensively. I think he's going to flourish.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree. Next one is one that kind of surprised me to see it be a Walleye contract after being a Griffins contract last year, and defenseman Nick Andrews returning to the Fish. So this was, in my book, a handy piece by Pat to get this deal done and get him back in Toledo, especially not on an AHL deal.
Another solid defenseman, two-way. I want to see him get a more expanded role. I think this is the one guy for me that, like, I would like to see play some on the power play. You've seen it mainly towards the end of the year and into the postseason. He scored a few goals late in the year and into the playoffs. I think he skates real well. He moves the puck real well. It's just a matter of, like, giving him that expanded role. So I think that would be something to watch for. I think between him and Zach, that could be your power play quarterbacks. Obviously, we don't know what's left, and there's a guy in Grand Rapids that if he ends up down here is going to have a major say in all of that, Marcus Crawford. But if the opportunity's there, I'd love to see Nick get an expanded role.
Yeah, I do not disagree with you there. It's just one of those guys that you watch him on the ice, he's got a good hockey sense. He knows where to go to get the puck and knows what to do with it when it's on his stick. So really excited to see what another year in pro will look like for him. And again, I'm still just shocked that it's not an American League deal. It's just kind of one of those guys that, yeah, I know he only played a couple of games with Grand Rapids, but even when he did, he looked great. So I'm excited to see what he could do this season with the Fish. I think it's going to be a big one. And another familiar face returning in Jason Wilms. And I know there's a lot of question marks around this one with, people look at production, right? That's the first thing they look at. What's he done? And it might be on the lower end because of injuries, right? And everyone just goes, why are we bringing this guy back? But the little bit that we saw of him in Toledo when it was that late season edition, I was impressed.
Yeah, 6 points in 7 games. And like you said, coming off a season where he didn't play, I think that's going to be, everybody's going to question that. And rightfully so. Everybody has a right to. A guy hasn't played hockey in a year. You don't really know what he is, right? Like, again, though, should be healthy. Like, he showed when he played here prior that he can make an impact on a game. He can play center. He can play the wing. So it gives him some roster flexibility. And I think the biggest thing that I've noticed too with like this is like, I love what they're doing down the middle of the ice. If this is where these guys slot, like they're a little bit bigger down the middle. They're a little bit thicker. I think they've kind of seen like, okay, we got to get maybe a little bit bigger, stronger down the middle, and we'll go from there. If not, okay, we'll rotate guys in and out. But the more guys you can have the ability to take a face off, the better. And I'm excited to see what he can do over a full season. And that's probably the biggest thing.
Like if he can come in here and play that role well and be a 30-point player, then wonderful. That's exactly what we need him to do. And I think he's got the capability to do that. So don't write him off just because he had a season off. Let's see what he could do. Let's see how he's looking, and let's have some fun with it. I like to see a guy like this come back to the team because it also just seemed like a genuinely good kid when he was here.
Had ties too with, I believe it was the Mercuries.
There was ties there. I don't remember the specifics of it.
I believe it was his grandfather.
It makes sense. I mean, that would check out. If it was anyone younger than that, I'd be concerned. One more here for you. Campbell Psychos coming back. This is one we only got a small sample size of last year when he was a late season signing, and there was some generalized excitement around the way he played the game when we saw him on the ice.
Yeah, I like him. Campbell Soup. We need a Campbell Soup night. If that's not a jersey this year, especially jersey,
needs a soup jersey.
Yeah, we need a Campbell's can jersey.
It would look so bad, but so good.
I know it would be something. But he's a right shot defenseman, moves the puck well. He skates pretty well. Again, though, he is such a smaller sample size that it's going to be fun to watch in an expanded role. And there is one that I just thought of that we did not post, that I did not put in here.
We missed one?
Yeah, I missed one. So that's on me.
Way to go.
Yeah, I know. But see, this is how it goes. Jack Duff, I forgot to put him in the note. Yeah. You were super stoked about this one.
The Duff Man's it's right there. Like it's right there, right? You got to have a sign in that arena with the Duff Man on it. It's got to happen. No, I mean, look, we saw when we looked at him when he first signed last season, the production that stuck out was his OHL production. The college production, not a ton there, but at the same time, don't know much about the school he played at, don't know much about that team. But looking at the OHL production and seeing how that sometimes translates in the ECHL, there's reasons to be really excited about him returning and playing more than just the 3 or 4 games that he played.
Yeah, he's big. He's big. He's long.
Big dude.
Yeah, big. 6'3", 220.
I believe he was one of the ones we saw taking shots at practice that morning we were there.
Yeah, he was one of them. I was like,
that's a man.
Yeah, that's a
grown man. That's a big dude. And yeah, it's exciting to see him come back. And all these guys that you see sign late in the season, you never know. You never know if you're going to see him back. You might have just given them that springboard to go somewhere else to a bigger role or, the next level or overseas. So when you start seeing those guys trickle back in, it's a really cool feeling. And Pat's got to feel good too that those guys saw enough to know what they like and come back. That's just good signs for him all around.
Well, I think the guy that's like probably smiling ear to ear is Chaz. The prototypical guy to play for Chaz. Big physical defenseman, big guy, can clear the net front out. That's what Chaz did, right? Like that's what you knew him for. So seems like the kind of guy that he would love to have back too on the back end.
100%. As you noticed as we went through this, we didn't talk about a goaltender because the Walleye haven't signed one yet. Now, obviously, Grand Rapids has signed Jonathan Lemieux. We know that is a Toledo signing. He will be there. The question mark is, does Toledo sign one at all? Do they get one from Grand Rapids? Do they get one from Cleveland? We don't know. I mean, it could be a Lemieux Gylander net. It could be a Lemieux Augustine net. And I know Red Wings fans are like, what? Hey, anything is possible. We don't know. At the end of the day, when you look at it, Augustine has to come in and outperform what Gylander did in Grand Rapids last year. And those numbers were impressive. Not saying that he has to go match them or be better than, but he's got to be close to it, right? Not for the organization not to be like, all right, well, Gylander has proved he can do this. Put him back up here and see what he does for more than just 8 games. So it is going to be a question mark all around the board because at the end of the day, Augustine's a Red Wings draft pick. So is Gylander.
Yeah.
Yes, one is significantly younger than the other. I shouldn't say significantly. Sorry, G, that's mean. But at the same time, one is younger than the other. You just got to kind of wonder when you look at the trend of goaltenders that the Red Wings have drafted. Yes, they start off in Grand Rapids at some point in time, but they seem to find their way down to Toledo at this point in time. So is there a chance that Augie could be down there? There's a chance. Do we know? Not a dang clue in the world. We have no idea. So if you think we're hinting at something, we're not. We literally don't know. And this might be something that we've debated about the most in our group this summer.
Well, I mean, they're going to be in good hands either way. You get Gyro back, like he proved he can be a starter at this level, right? Like you've seen that last year. I know the last game of the year didn't go well, but it didn't go well for the entire team. But look at the 2 games going into that where they won at home. Like Gyro's the reason they got there. Like I forget what it was. It was like 53 of 56 shots in 2 games.
Something insane.
Yeah, it was a crazy number. But so you have him, you have Lemieux who's got experience, right? You're finally going to see him on a good team, so we'll see what that does for him and his confidence. And then if they do get Trey, like it worked well with Kos, I'm sure it would work well again. So
yeah, and I think enough about those 2 guys though, because we talk about them a lot. Lemieux we hit on it in the Grand Rapids episode, but I think we got to talk a little bit more about him because I think everyone looks at the save percentage or they look at the goals against, but they don't look at that save percentage that he managed to muster up in Kalamazoo. And again, as we said, Kalamazoo, no direct shots at them, but not historically a great team. But to be able to be a 900 save percentage with what he's done in that's a good sign. Put him behind a good team, and he could really show up. And we've seen him play. We've seen him steal games before against Toledo.
He's goalied games against Toledo, that's for sure.
He's got American League time too. Like he knows his stuff. So
experience.
Don't just write him off because he played for Kalamazoo and you've seen him get chased sometimes. We've seen it before. We've heckled him before. Hey, we're all there. Now he's on our side. We got to root for him and hope for the best here. And I think it was a really good piece by Grand Rapids to make this move. Again, seeing more Grand Rapids deals that are going to potentially or will help Toledo. Like this is, again, we're in uncharted territory on this show. That hasn't happened much these past few years. And Walleye fans have to be excited about that. Seeing the affiliation truly be affiliated for once for the first time in the last few years.
Well, like you kind of hinted at, there's probably a potential of 4 to 5 guys that are going to see time in Toledo potentially, barring crazy stuff happens. And it's just a good thing. Like you said, they must be on the same page, right? Like they want to help each other now. So that's a good thing. And then you talk about Kalamazoo, like they lost pretty much their starting goaltender, one of their starting goaltenders, and they lost Quinn Preston. So tough summer for Kalamazoo.
To a division rival
for both of them. So that's tough.
Yeah, I mean, you look around the division, some teams have had some rough summers, and Toledo is not one of them. So be very happy that we are where we're at in this situation. And I think, when you look at the big picture, I think Horkoff kind of realized after that game where the ice melted, where he had to sign, 4 ECHL players to a deal to have enough guys to skate that night. I think he realized, I need depth. And maybe that was the wake-up call needed because this year they've responded with depth that I think Toledo is going to be very happy with. I mean, at the end of the day, if none of those guys Grand Rapids signed outside of Lemieux and Crawford make it to the Fish, they're going to be thrilled.
Yeah.
But, I mean, either way, we're sitting on August 5th right now. Obviously, the season's getting closer and closer, but the way this roster is shaping up, I mean, you got 2 of the 4 veterans with Hawk and Craggs in there. And you've got significant depth potential from the American League. The team is shaping up to look very, very good going into this season. And I think as everyone sits here and criticizes Pat Mickish from the fan perspective sometimes, he has not yet failed us to put together what looks like on paper another great roster to go into the season where this roster looks like it's expecting to win games.
That's the expectation, right? Expect to win games. You mentioned the veterans. They got 2 of 4. You almost can't go for, you almost don't want to fill all 4 because if you do end up with Crawford and you have 4, then you got to either put one on IR or something. So
yeah,
I don't expect them to fill all 4 veteran roles. I'll say that.
I mean, if they're going to continue to sign players at this rate, I have a feeling Pat's going to get real familiar with running that IR position and making roster changes daily and all that fun stuff. But that's not a bad thing. That means you have depth, and depth is something that all of us have been crying for years. So this is a beautiful thing to see. And like I said, it's like It's the first time in a while the affiliation feels like an affiliation.
Yeah.
You've got all this depth signing happening. You've got Grand Rapids coming to play games in Toledo with 2 preseason games at the end of September. It's kind of the first time these two teams have felt like, brother and brother, while you watch the dad in the organization just burn down around you.
Yeah, it does feel that
And
way.
I think that plays a part in it too, where Hork is kind of looking at the situation in Detroit going, this is such a wild card. I don't know what I'm going to have in Grand Rapids. I need to be ready. And again, credit to him for being ready. That's a great thing to see. And I know he's got a ton on his plate with all the drama in Detroit, but for him to realize this at this level and set it up for success, all the fans have to at least acknowledge that and be happy.
Yeah.
But like we said, outside of that, that's all the signings so far. We're sure there's more, and we'll update you guys as this offseason goes along. The last thing before we throw it over to Waz, I want to just mention, because we haven't talked about it once this summer, the Walleye are heading outdoors again this year, and it's not going to be in Toledo. It's going to be in Kalamazoo. January 31st at Waldo Stadium at Western Michigan University. Walleye versus the Kalamazoo Wings. What's your excitement level for this?
Always stoked when you get to go outside. That's probably the coolest thing. I know, like the NHL, it's gotten very redundant. Obviously last year the Winter Classic was a thing with that, but for the coast it's cool. It's only the 5th one ever. Toledo will be playing in the 5th one, their 5th one, which is the 5th one. So
insane.
They played in all of them, so we're spoiled.
Then you've got Winterfest the following year, so they'll play in the 6th one.
And
we are very
7th
spoiled. Yeah, we're spoiled with this, man. But this is cool. One, Western Stadium is pretty cool if you've never been there. It's a pretty cool environment. It should be a great environment to watch hockey. You got the Western and Michigan game happening the night before that. And this is just going to be a fun time. I'm really excited to see what they do with this. I'm going to just assume right off the bat that this is a specialty jersey.
I would hope so.
Right?
I would
you got to see what can you come up with for this, and there's some cool options out there.
I will say this is the 3rd time they've played against each other.
In an outdoor game?
Yeah, this is the 3rd meeting, and Kalamazoo's won the first 2, and they were both here. So we got to return the favor.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you have to. The expectations for Toledo go through the roof at that point. We have to, put that dagger in there a little bit. But I'm just excited for this. This is fun. This is the fun side of hockey that you really love to see. And you couldn't think of 2 better teams to be playing. If there was going to be an outdoor game in Kalamazoo, it's the best 2 teams to put out there.
Well, and I think I said to you guys in the text when the news broke, the potential for a snow globe game,
very high.
End of January in Western Michigan.
Yeah, be prepared for a potential foot of snow. You never know. It's the lake shore. It happens. It's close enough to it. I should say it's not on the lake, but it's close enough. And Kalamazoo gets smoked with snow every year. So the potential for this to just be a wild game is through the roof. So make sure, if you're listening, go get some tickets. This is going to be just a fun outdoor game. I mean, the hopes in our mind when we saw the Michigan Western game get announced, we had rumblings of the Toledo game happening. I was like, Grand Rapids, come on, do your thing. Let's go. And it didn't happen. I was really hoping for a Grand Rapids, Chicago, or Rockford game in Kalamazoo. I think that would have been a lot of fun to expose more people in Kalamazoo to Grand Rapids, but missed the mark there. Maybe try it again another time. That's where we're at with that. But I'm super pumped for this. It's going to be a fun weekend for sure. But I think with all that being said, we should throw it over to Waz. When we come back, we're going to talk about the new jerseys. We have thoughts. I think we both have differing opinions, so stay tuned for that. And also, I'll tease the next Griffins interview that's coming your way the following week.
No sport flips faster than hockey. One power play, a goalie pulled with 2 minutes left, and everything changes. DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NHL, is built for that kind of chaos. With live betting from puck drop to the final buzzer, yet DraftKings has your back with early exit protection. If you place a pregame player prop bet and your player starts the game but leaves in the first period due to injury and doesn't return, you'll get your bet back in cash. No bonus bets, no opt-in, just real protection when injuries happen early. Sportsbook customers bet just $5, and if your bet wins, you'll get $300 in bonus bets instantly. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code THPN so you're ready for the moment. That's code THPN. Turn $5 into $300 in bonus bets if your bet wins. In partnership with DraftKings. The crowd is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or 1-800-MY-RESET. New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. Connecticut, call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino in Kansas, wager tax pass-through may apply in Illinois. 21 and over in most states. Void in Ontario. Restrictions apply. Bet must win to receive bonus bets which expire in 7 days. Minimum odds required. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos. Limited time offer.
All right, everybody. Well, where am I? I'm in the office of the Equipment Manager of the Year, Adam Wozniak. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, thanks for coming.
No, I mean, this is going to be pretty cool. I know we talked about it at the end of the year, and then you were like, "Oh, we'll do it in the summer, and then you can come down." And I was like, "Yeah, it's a great idea." So,
I'm
thanks
excited.
for having me.
Of course.
I guess we'll just jump into it, man. Like, so you started here. Your journey started here. Kind of take us how you got here in your first run with the Walleye.
Yeah, so in the very early years, I was playing high school hockey. I only played 2 years, junior and senior year, at Lake, and I just fell in love with the sport. I've always played like roller hockey growing up, but never ice. So right when I got on the ice and just fell in love with the game and knew I wasn't going to be good enough to play beyond my club high school hockey, so I found another avenue to stay in the game. And here we are.
Was it just like you just were like, this would be a cool gig, or?
Yes, exactly. Yeah, I think I watched a couple YouTube videos and they were following around all the equipment teams, and I just thought it was awesome.
I know for me it's like dream job, so like it's got to be a like pinch yourself moment.
Absolutely, yeah.
What was it like back then being an assistant? Like, what was your day to day?
Coming in at 3:30 on game days and just kind of setting up the bench and doing whatever Dave needed me to do, the equipment manager at the time. And he was great to learn from. He was very organized and knew exactly how things should be ran, and I just was a sponge and learned from anything I could.
What was it like back then? Obviously, a different group of people to a point.
Yeah, honestly, it was a little bit of a shell shock the first game I was here. It was a preseason game, and I was like training camp or whatever, and I was like, what am I doing behind the bench here? I have no idea. How did I get here? So, yeah, it was really cool.
What would be your biggest advice for somebody wanting to get into the industry?
Biggest advice I'm going to say would be just reach out to your local team. Maybe you can help out. It's going to take a while. Like, do volunteer work. You'll probably have to. Just put in the hours and put in the effort to show people that you want to be in this field. Because at the end of the day, those people are going to be the ones that'll have your back when there's a job opening down the road and what have you.
What was your favorite memory from that first run here?
I was with the team when we went to Newfoundland. The team I was lucky enough that the team paid for my passport and the flight out there and everything. So that was awesome to be out there and experience Newfoundland.
How was St. John's?
It was crazy, to say the least.
Obviously, you left for a couple of years and end up in Saginaw. How did that avenue come to? Obviously, you just said, like, if you're good with good people, they'll back you for an opportunity. Is that kind of what happened?
Yes, exactly. So it was funny enough, our Warrior rep now was one of the original guys that kind of like, hey, the Saginaw's open, like, would you want to go? I was like, yeah, let's do it. I actually did an interview for an SPHL team, and it really wasn't the right fit for my wife and I, and turned that down, and then a week later, I got the call for Saginaw, saw that it was open, and it was awesome.
Was that like a big change going to junior?
It was. I didn't know what to expect. I knew nothing about junior hockey when I got up there, and seeing just how young the kids were and how talented they were, it was awesome to be around. It really was.
I mean, it's almost like that's Canada's hockey.
Yeah.
Especially at that younger age, that younger demographic. Like, that had to be like, whoa. Like you said, you didn't know what you're expecting, and then like you walk into that and it's like, wow. Because for a lot of them kids, that's their NHL.
Yeah. It's going to some of those arenas like London and Oshawa, Kitchener. It's just incredible what they do there. I mean, it's just like here. It was packed every night, and 9,000 people in London. It was really cool.
I've always wondered, like, do you think this market could do junior now that you've seen junior? Like, do you think this city could support a junior team?
I'd be curious. Probably. But I also, at the same time, I think the ECHL is the perfect fit for Toledo. Just, that's where it's kind of been for a while now.
It's roots.
Yeah, probably, but don't fix it if it's not broken kind of thing.
Yeah. While you were up there, obviously you got to see one of the top young talents come into that league, and Michael Misa. What was it like being around him? Obviously he was very young at the time, but still had to be, like you said, like high skill, wow moment. Yeah,
definitely. Just being around talent like that was awesome, and when we had drafted him, we did a huge press conference for him, and I made the first ever Misa jersey with like the Spirit jersey. And it was really cool to be part of that whole process. And yes, he was very young, never had an equipment manager before, so that was, it was interesting. Just teaching him how to basically do laundry, or where to put stuff, and it was good.
What was your favorite memory from up there?
Honestly, that, like, being part of, I was in the draft room when they drafted him to the OHL. So being part of that whole process was really cool to me. And then I got to work with Pavel Minchikov, he plays for the Ducks now. Zane Parekh, he plays for the Flames. So just seeing, my favorite thing about that was just seeing these kids now move on to the NHL, or even like to this day I see some guys in our league that I had as players in Saginaw. It's always good to see them and kind of catch up with them. So that's definitely my favorite part.
When you were there, did you ever did it cross your mind of I could stay in junior, or did you want to go back to pro?
I always wanted to come here. So
this was the job.
This was it. Yeah. So we got the Memorial Cup bid the year I left. So I was part of the whole bidding process of trying to figure out where to put teams and what to do, like everything we need. So I started that whole process. And I always told myself the only time I would leave if Toledo opens. And sure enough, it was that year. So missed the Memorial Cup by a year, but I wouldn't change it.
Yeah, I was going to say, was that kind of like we missed the Men Cup, but you get your dream job.
Exactly. Yeah. No, and I'm happy for everyone up there. I still, when I got the Equipment Manager of the Year award, the GM and the head coach both reached out to me and congratulated me. So it was just really cool to keep in touch with all those guys up there still.
And then coming home, when you found out you were getting that gig, what was that moment like?
So when we were, my wife and I were up there, I was working as a repair guy for the apartment we were in. And so I was working whatever it was, 9 to 5 and whatnot. And so I was going through the whole interview process while trying to juggle that. And I remember I was cutting grass or moving whatever. And that's when Pat called me. He was like, hey, we're going to, we want you here. And it was just the coolest thing to call my wife and be like, hey, we're going to go home. We're going home. So it was awesome moment.
It's great timing for you too, because you got the couple years up there to get your feet wet and being the head guy, and then you come back home. But what changed? Did anything change in them couple years you were gone to back to now?
Honestly, no. A lot of the same people were here in the front office, so the transition was super super easy. It really, and even Brad or AT, and Hirsch and Banner, 2 assistant coaches, were here when I was here the first time, so it was easy transition.
Well, who's been your favorite guy to deal with here?
I'm going to say Simone Denis is definitely up there. He was always really cool when I was an assistant and keep in touch throughout the whole process, and even now he comes in and says hi every game day, so that's always really cool. Brendan Kotick was another one that was always super nice to me, and now we still keep in touch even though he's doing his coaching thing and whatnot, so it's cool.
That's the one thing you hear online is people always say the equipment managers and the trainers are the behind the scenes guys that make the diesel engine run. Yeah. It's cool you guys have those relationships with guys down the road.
Yeah. That's the best part, is just keeping in contact with everyone.
So obviously you said what your days were like when you were the assistant. It's got to be even crazier now.
Definitely. Yeah.
Take us through a day.
So game days, I get here around 8 o'clock. Get ready for morning skate and do whatever skates I need to do that morning. We'll skate at 10, and then we flip the locker room, get it ready for the game, do the game, and after the game we do all the laundry and reset the locker room for the next day. So usually don't leave till about 11:30, midnight. So 8
long days,
to midnight.
Long days.
Yeah.
You got to be willing to put in the work. Favorite piece of equipment?
I've always been a huge stick guy, so I'm always intrigued on sticks and different curves.
It's probably the most common answer.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, not to be cliche, but up in Saginaw, we did the high school kids came and skated in the afternoon, and the college kids would skate in the morning. So there was a couple hours of downtime, so I'd just grab everyone's stick and go out and stick handle and see what I like. So I ended up getting custom sticks off of Misa's specs because I liked the curve and everything that he had. So it's kind of interesting.
It's a trick. It's a nice little piece that you get that luxury.
Yeah.
What's your craziest fix on something you've had to do, in the moment?
In the moment. So I've been pretty fortunate here, knock on wood, that nothing crazy here has happened quite yet. But back up in Saginaw, it was Game 7 of our playoff series with Flint, and the goalie's steel popped out in the third period, and it took me forever to get that thing back in. And that was the most nerve-wracking moment that I've had to deal with so far. Because the blade popped out and he made a crazy save, so the snow was built up in like the track for the blade, and no matter what I was doing, I couldn't get it out, or couldn't get it back in, and that was hectic.
So is that like the worst part of the click-in blades?
My worst nightmare. I would rather break 106 a game than have to do that again.
You see the videos of guys like hands on the sticks. Do you do that? Is that
Yeah.
part of your technique?
Yeah, definitely, especially when the face-off's closest to me, like right on the dot right by our door. Always have your hand on the stick. In our zone especially. Maybe not so much on the far end because I know I have time to do what I got to do. But always got to keep an eye on who's on the ice and what player usually breaks more sticks. Kind of be ready for that.
Do you put them in a specific order by lines and pairs?
Just numerical.
Just numerical?
Yeah, that's what works best for me.
The one thing we have to ask about the Kalamazoo night here a couple of years ago, like, what was going through your head when you heard about that?
So my assistant Chase came over and he was like, hey, I think Kalamazoo forgot the jerseys. I was like, oh no. So right away I was like, okay, what are we going to do? And their equipment guy came over and confirmed it. And so we got him our training camp jerseys with the numbers on them. And that's it was what it was. And to see it blow up the next day, it was like, oh, this is probably not great. But that equipment guy is now in the NHL. So it worked out for him.
It's funny how the world works,
Yeah,
right? You
yeah.
learn a lesson and then you just move on.
Yep, exactly. So I was very happy to see that he didn't really get any repercussions for that. But everyone makes mistakes kind of thing. So
obviously you get to have the fun of like putting the kits together at times. Like, what's been your favorite like kit that you've had to put together in a pinch?
You're like especially jersey wise?
Yeah.
Yeah. Bullfrog is really cool. When we did the matte black helmets with the stickers and everything like that, we got all that done. Storm obviously was awesome getting that all put together. So those two are definitely on top.
The finals run, you've been here twice for it. Like,
Yeah.
you guys are so close. Like, and it's like you're a part of the whole thing. Obviously, you're here, but like, how special will that be when you cross that finish line at some point?
Can't wait. Can't wait for it to happen. The Troyes loss was gut wrenching. Being up there and fighting so hard, that one really, really hurt.
Is there anything that like you've learned watching these guys go through it, being in the background of it, watching these guys of like how much they truly do care?
Because
you're hand in hand with them every day.
Yeah, they really do. I mean, that's the saddest locker room I've ever been a part of at that when we lost to Troyes. Like, it was just the emotions were low.
Talk about some special people that have been through here. Obviously, Hawk. How's it working with him on a daily basis?
Love him. He makes my job harder and easier at the same time.
In what ways?
It's a true. He likes to. He's always tinkering with something, and usually it has something. Me sewing something on somewhere or whoever, on anyone. But he's also easier. Like, he's really good at talking to the guys for me or with me if we need to get something done. He helped me get it done. So easier in that sense, and harder in the sense of all the little projects he has me do.
What's your favorite part of the job itself?
Just the camaraderie, the locker room, being here, walking in those doors every day. Like, it's really a dream come true. So that's the best part.
It's got to be like, I know I said it earlier, but like being at home, like it's a home game for you every time.
Yeah.
Is that what made it so appealing?
Yes, definitely. And just how well the organization does and how we're treated on, off the ice, staff, players, everyone. I like to think we do it right here, and it's very special to be part of.
Yeah, you hear that term, the NHL of the coast, a lot with a lot of the guys we talk to. Do you see it in a different arena? It's like how nice the facilities are.
Yeah. Like, Kalamazoo's locker room is really nice, but then the rest of the building probably needs a little bit of work, although they're getting their new building here next 2 seasons from now. I'm excited for the outdoor games, excited for their outdoor game and then ours for here. I've never been part of an outdoor game, so I'm stoked for that.
I talk about like this place. I mean, just looking in this room, like it's like you got everything at your disposal. Like, that's got to be like the one thing that's like, that's why this job in the coast is the one to have.
Yeah. I mean, I have 2 industrial sewing machines. I have a sharpener, profiler, anything that I need to get the job done and do it efficiently is here. So that's definitely nice.
And then biggest thing is like, what's your mindset going into next year? Does anything change on a year-to-year basis?
Honestly, just kind of better myself. There's always like little things I feel like I could do better on. Organizational wise, for example, I know where everything's at. I like to get it out and probably not put it back in the right spot. So,
it's like most of us.
Yeah,
it's like everybody.
So, my assistant Chase likes to yell at me quite a bit for not putting stuff back. So maybe I can get better at that for him.
Obviously, save the best question for last, but like obviously this award right here, when you found out you were getting that had to be like an all-world moment.
It's always something I've wanted, and I really appreciate the way Pat did it. Like, so it was a practice day, and he calls me out on the ice, and I'm like, oh no, what could this possibly be? He announced it to the guys. The guys go crazy, giving me hugs, and it was just a really, really cool moment.
I think that was the biggest thing in that video that they posted, the team posted, just showing how tight of a group everybody is here.
Yeah.
I mean, that's my biggest thing is congrats to you. It's well-deserved. I see you pretty much every night at some point, and you're always hard at work. Just wanted to, again, say thanks for the spot. I mean, this is cool. This is cool. So thanks for coming on, man.
Of course. Happy to do it.
And welcome back to just the two of us here. Thank you again to Adam for sitting down with Travis and talking there. I know it was a quicker interview, but it was good for you to get to sit down with him and do that. I'm sure we will do more with him in the future, but we're blessed between these two organizations, between getting to work with Dog and Waz. Like, there's not many better out there in the world of equipment manager than those two guys.
No, not at all. And I think the coolest part is, he talked about how Toledo was his dream job in life and he got it. So like, just goes to show, like, if you set your mind to something, anything's possible.
Are we getting inspirational up in here? All right. No, it is true though, man. Like, that's so cool to see that work out for him. And I'm just really thankful that we've got him. Like, he's been so kind to us every time we've been down to the rink. I'm bummed I couldn't have been there for the interview. It just didn't work out with scheduling. So that means we have to do another one at some point in time. I'm just, again, ever grateful for getting to work with everyone in this organization. It's so cool. So thank you again to him, and we hope you all enjoyed that. Let us know if you enjoyed it down in the comments below. But speaking of equipment, let's talk about the jerseys. The Walleye, for the first time in 10 seasons, will be donning new sweaters, and I think everyone's got some thoughts on them. We've got a navy blue one, a white one, the yellow or gold, whatever you want to call it, and then the light blue one. The black one's been retired. Rest in peace, black jersey. I loved you so much. I love a black jersey. I'm sorry. I do. They're always my favorites. Anytime a team does a black one, it's always my favorite. I don't know why they just pop on the ice, man.
Hey, I'll say, while it didn't make sense for all of the color scheme, it looked sharp. I'll say that.
Yeah. Always looked sharp, but we always did say that we wanted a navy one too. They did deliver on that. So let's start with the thoughts on the navy jersey, Travis. What are your thoughts before mine?
I like the navy one the best. I think it pops the best. You look at the outline of the logos in baby blue, so it really gets it to pop. Don't love that logo, but that's just me. I wish they would have just gone to the real fish by itself as their home and away, and then gone to a hooks alternate and then the W alternate. That's just me though. But all in all, like, it looks great. I think this is the best looking one by far. I love the waves, like in the striping and even in the sock striping. It's going to be this one's going to look sweet on the ice.
Yeah, this one's sharp, man. It's easily one of my favorites. Of course, I like the darker jersey out of all of them. It just goes with my trend here. I already ordered one. Literally within 10 minutes of them being announced, I had one on order. Should I have done that? My wallet says no, but my mind says yes. And I'm excited to have that in the backdrop of the new setup that I'll have here in a few weeks. Ooh, teaser. It's a cool
you'll
jersey,
have one
man.
before me.
I will, which is shocking. No, you'll wander into the store this weekend somehow and pick one up, and I'll be like, all right, you just had to have it before me. But let me clarify. You want the fish that's on my hat? That's the one you want?
I want what they did with the yellow jersey, the fish big by itself. I wish they would have put that on the navy. I wish they would have put that on the white. There's your home and away, because they're not going to wear the baby blues a whole lot. And then for the yellow, I mean, like...
Well, hold on. I want to stick to...
Yeah, let's go, but let's visit this at the end.
I don't love this logo. I prefer the one that's on the jersey.
Yeah, I mean, so here's my.
I don't like jerseys with just the standard logo. If there's a logo in existence with the team name on it, I like that more because I think from a branding perspective, I'm sorry, that's the marketing brain in me. But if I'm skating into another town and I show up with just a fish on my jersey, the fans are looking at me, and if they don't know who we are, I'm just a fish.
That's
not
fair.
the Toledo Walleye.
That's fair.
That's the way I look at it from the branding perspective.
I get that.
So that's my thoughts. But the white jersey is the next one we'll talk about. What do you think of this one? Obviously, it's very similar to the Navy one. Different logo on the chest, same fins on the shoulder, same striping as the Navy one.
So I've seen like the practice jersey thing, like the comment.
It's not a practice jersey. I get where they're going, but
I do too. I get that.
I've seen their practice jerseys. It's not similar.
I don't like the yellow stripes. I wish they'd have done blue, like the yellow laces. I mean, not stripes.
Oh, I say that was one of my favorite parts of the jersey was having the yellow laces.
Well, this is where it looks weird to me. Okay, so like, if you just look at the jersey, right? Like, so you have a base white, and then the stripes that really pop is the light blue. Okay. Well, look at the logo. What pops the most? It's the dark blue that pops. So it kind of contrasts itself. Like, you see what I'm saying?
I wish the neckline was dark blue.
Honestly, I wouldn't hate that. I wish they would have just like done, instead of the thin strip that's blue and then the shield up front, they should have just did that whole thing in one color and been done with it.
Yeah, no, I'm right there with you on that. And that's being so nitpicky. It's not even funny.
I will say too, like, I think these were kind of like sort of an homage to last year's, because if you look, it's not like traditional stripes this way, like on a like the yellow jersey. If you look at the jerseys behind me, like the black one, they come on an angle, so it's kind of like paying homage to what they came from a little bit.
I mean, with it on my screen next to me, comparing it to the white jersey behind you, I do like this one more.
I do too. I think they clean the shoulder patches up. They're not as big, which I'm a big fan of.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing that you don't know, because you haven't seen like the game issued one yet, is the winged wheel up there too, like they do with the game?
I'm sure it will be, yeah.
It might, some of these patches, that's going to be really crowded, and I don't know how I'll feel about that. And also why we don't do like every other ECHL team and have a Griffin on there too, you know?
Just put a Griffin on one and a wing on the other and be done with it.
Yeah, I think every other team does it. Like, don't forget about us up here in GR, guys. Come on. I'm about to go stitch one on there myself just to prove that it like looks fine. Anyways, I digress. They could put the shield on there instead of the full Griffin.
Put the shield in blue and yellow on it.
Ooh.
I don't think you can put too much red and white. It would be too much. It would have to be.
Yeah, you're spot on probably there. But anyways, move on to the light blue one. This one I've got feelings about, but I want to hear your thoughts.
It's almost great, but here's the problem. And it honestly, like, you could tie these two into the same. Hockey teams, please, for the love of God, stop putting stripes across the middle. There's one team that can do it, and they do it the best. It's Montreal. They should be the only team that does it in hockey because they are the only ones that can pull it off and make it look phenomenal. Now, I think what they're trying to do for the blue one is like to look like waves. To me, that it's a miss. But here's the contradictory part for me. The W's blue and white on a blue jersey. It doesn't match. Now, if you're going to do a stripe, this is what they should have done. Where it's all them stripes, make it one big solid navy one, and that logo would have popped off of that jersey.
I don't disagree with you on that. It's funny that every point you brought up is none of the points I hate about the jersey. I hate the shoulders.
You hate that the
I hate
shoulder.
them.
This is what I don't like about it, is that the stripe on the bottom is yellow.
Yes.
They don't match.
Yes, I know the neckline has the yellow stripe to match it, but what would have made the shoulders slightly better? I hate just a solid, different colored shoulder. I think it looks lazy.
I'm not a big fan.
What would have made it a little better is outline that shoulder with yellow. I think might have made a big difference for me. It might have made me like it a little more. I still wouldn't have liked it because it's just this solid color. At this point, get the dark blue off there and just go light blue all the way up. Like, fine.
Like
I'm fine with that. Yeah, exactly. I mean, even on the original jerseys, the light blue was like my least favorite. So I'm not surprised that I don't love this jersey.
I think this one will grow on me. I think this is one that is going to look way better in person than it does on a screen or in pictures. It's just my opinion. Now, the one thing I cannot stand is they have two different shoulder patches.
I knew you were going to say that.
It's the dumbest thing
I don't disagree. I wish they would have committed fully with the Lighthouse one because I love that, except that it's the state of Ohio outlining it. Sorry.
The
I'm
Lighthouse.
a Michigan fan. Sorry.
Honestly, the Lighthouse would have been sick on the front.
I was just going to say that should have, instead, I understand the W and the fin on the front. I would have loved to have just seen this logo on the chest of a jersey. I think it would have looked really cool. We saw it on one of the hoodies, I think it was last season in the shop. And we're like, wow,
that on the
logo's
front.
Sick.
Yeah. I remember that.
It would have been cool, but yeah, they should have done it on both shoulders. The actual logo itself, though, if you ignore everything else, it's a cool logo.
It is a really cool logo. I do like it a lot. I am a big fan of that.
Yeah. And on to my... I don't know if this is my least favorite or not. I haven't decided. I know I said in my ranking when they asked today, I put this third. The more I stare at it, the more I hate it.
I don't like this one at all. I'll be honest. Like, listen, I just want to point this out. I love that they rebranded. It was time. We needed some new looks. I don't mind the white one at all. I actually like it the more I look at it. I just wish the collar was blue. I love the navy. The navy's phenomenal. That is the best one by far, and I don't think it's remotely close. But I've seen people that say, oh, I really like the blue one. I really like the yellow one. It's the stripes. Like, why?
Yeah, we insert Travis's argument about stripes before, right back into this part of the show here. And I think I said it. I might have said it best when I posted the better look where they had it physically on players, not a rendering, not a video, where it's fresh. The redesign is fresh and it has something for everyone. You might hate this one, but you might really like this one. And I think that was kind of their goal here, was to make something for everybody. And if they did that, if that was the goal, they succeeded. I will give them all the credit in the world. What I don't love about the yellow one, especially seeing it on a player, I don't know why this drives me nuts. The yellow on the helmet doesn't match, first of all.
Well, it never has.
And the yellow, I don't think you go yellow bucket with this jersey. I don't.
I'd
rather
see
a different color.
They will.
I know, but I don't want them to. I'd rather see a light blue bucket, a navy one. The yellow, it's just too much yellow. But again, the yellow was third on my list before. Like the light blue was my least favorite one. The yellow was third. It's not a surprise that I don't like it. But again, it's not a shot at them. Like, it's their branding, their design, and again, they're trying to make something for everyone, so everyone has an option they're going to like. I get that. I know you love the logo on this one. I think it's kind of meh. Here's what I'll say about the logo is, again, it just goes back to me saying it's branding. Like, you walk into my arena wearing that, I'm like, oh, they're the Toledo Yellowfish?
Yeah, no, it makes sense. But then again,
the shoulders do have the Toledo Walleye logo on them labeled, so they still fit it in. But it's just not my favorite. And it does go back to the striping argument. I'm all with you on that argument.
Oh, I'll say this too. Like, this goes back to what I was kind of getting to earlier, and then we said we'd carry it to the end. Here's where I'm at with it. I don't think you need 4 jerseys. I am not a 4 jersey fan. Toledo, they do too many theme nights to begin with, so you barely see the regular rotations anyways. So we might see all of these like 4 times. That's it all year. If they wear them all year, like
one of them you might only see twice if they lose in it.
For me though, like even if they would have I wish they would have picked a path. Like I wish that they would go. Okay, we're going with the Real Fish logo. You can make it the circle one. Okay. Like you can.
Yeah, it's 4 different logos.
It's 4 different logos, but 2 of them are in the same logo. 2 of them are in the same. Like, why? If you're going to, this is my thing though. Like, I don't think you need 4. I think 3 is perfect. And this is why. You pick one logo, pick a vision and go with it. Whether it be the one that they put on the blue one, the white one, or whatever. I think the most universally liked one is probably the circle one because they wore the yellow so much. I think everybody's so used to seeing that. That's the graphic that they use on all of their socials. And you get the Toledo Walleye with the Real Fish in it. But even if you went with I call it the cartoon fish, that's
Spike, bro.
Spike. I know. It looks more cartoony to me.
A mascot. What is he supposed to look like? A real fish?
Well, the Real Fish I think's better, but that's just me as far as looks on a jersey. But you pick a logo, say Navy's the home and white's the away. Okay. Then you go with a third. You have that third for 3 years, then you rotate it out, the new one comes in, and you continuously do that, right? Like, you look at Toledo Cycle, you'd had 3 alternate jerseys in this last cycle in 10 years. But the problem, now if you're going to go with 4, Go back to the same logo as your home and your away. Pick a solid and your white, make two of them the same. That's fine because you have a traditional home and away. If you want to have two alternates, they should have went with the W logo and the Hooks logo. Why they don't use that Hooks logo more, I blows my mind.
Because they're not the Toledo Hooks.
They're not the
They're
Toledo
not the Toledo
W's
Fish
either.
Hooks. I'm not disagreeing with you on that.
I don't know. To me,
The Hooks logo, okay, so here's my thing is I don't think the hook should be the primary, but the hook should be the shoulder patch for every jersey.
I could get behind that. I like the Hooks way more than the fins.
I do too. 100% agree with you there. And why the light blue one and the yellow one have to have two different shoulder patches, I don't know. That's another question I'd love to have answered because it's literally 4 different patches. You have the circle walleye logo, you have the, as you call it, the cartoon one, you have the lighthouse, and you have the hooks. Like,
Yeah.
maybe a little bit of an identity crisis here.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it doesn't matter as long as they win games. No one cares how they look.
I said it to you. They'll probably win the cup this year and they're never going to rebrand again and everybody's stuck with it. That's just what's going to happen because that's what teams do. When they win, they don't change. Like,
hey, GR proved you wrong instantly because they won it in the old rebranded and won it in the new one. So.
All in all, everything said, I like that they rebranded. It was time, like I said.
Yeah.
They're
like
not
10 years,
like,
bro. It's time.
Okay, they're not the Dallas word mark. They're not the Islanders word mark. Like, you know,
these could have been way worse.
There are some horrible jerseys out there in the world that have been on hockey teams and outside of the yellow one I just don't like. But all in all, I think they, I give them some creativity for doing some things different, right? Like I love the wave implement in the striping. I really think that blue one's going to grow on me. The yellow one, I'm just not going to like it, and I've already accepted it. But I like that they tried to be a little creative in some areas. They went different. It's not just like every other jersey.
There's nothing else in the ECHL that looks like it.
No, that's what's fun about it.
Exactly. And they don't just look like they're affiliates.
They don't look like their parents.
Exactly. Like Grand Rapids has done a great job being their own team. Love seeing Toledo continue to do the same thing. Yes, GR has the shield, Red Wings look alike, but that's only worn on a special occasion. Like if Toledo had a special occasion Friday night jersey that was like a Grand Rapids replica, I'd be all for that. It's got to be just like a one-time thing. It can't be like it's like Rockford walking into Grand Rapids looking like the Blackhawks every single night.
Yeah.
Like, it drives me nuts. You don't need to look like your NHL team, just like these guys don't need to look like their NHL team or AHL team. And I love that they do that. And there's so few teams out there that still operate like that. It makes me happy to see them be themselves. And again, it's got something for everyone. So someone's going to love them, someone's going to hate them, but there's no way you can look at all 4 of these and go, I don't like one of those.
Correct.
There's no way.
Correct. I like 2 of them, maybe 3. But there's one thing that we haven't said about these that needs to be said and addressed. Whoever made that video. Oh my
beautiful.
God. They
done.
They get all the stick taps. Like,
yeah, great launch video.
That
jerseys,
video
honestly.
was incredible.
Now, whoever decided they needed that many teasers for a jersey, I want to have a discussion with, because by the second one, everybody knew it was a jersey. Every single one.
Yeah. The first one was great because it was just like, it was enough to make you think, especially when you see the navy and no black. Like, it made you really wonder. And then from there, it got pretty obvious, but that's okay. They had fun with it.
Like, you get the video of the guys walking in the locker room. Those are sweet. I wonder what those are, Hawk. Looking at you, bud.
I will say, Brandon, it was
cool.
You mentioned one thing earlier, a potential outdoor jersey. Give me the lighthouse with like an ice theme on it, like on the front.
Oh.
Like the lighthouse, make it like...
my money.
I would do
Take
navy,
my money.
Make it like ice theme with ice hanging off the lighthouse. It would just look sweet.
You know what the other great thing about these is, though, too? That you'll see so many teams do a rebrand and you'll go to order the jersey and it's like, oh, pre-order now. You might get it in December. They're available now.
Yeah, you can go get them right now.
Beautiful. Done.
Yep.
They are available in the store today. Like, that's, again, so well done. Like, don't make us wait till December for it. If you want to have that New Jersey opening night, you've got it. And that's so cool that they do it like that. And 10 out of 10, no notes on the launch and doing everything. Like, they nailed it on that. and everyone's going to have different opinions on the jerseys. Look, we just talked for 20 minutes and had differing opinions on half of them. So everyone's going to feel different, but at the end of the day, love a rebrand, love a redesign, and they didn't make them the ugliest thing we've ever seen. Like, there are much uglier jerseys out there.
It's not the Motorist.
So well done, Toledo. Excited for this. So I think with that, though, that is all we have for this Toledo episode. A little longer of a Toledo show than normal, but well overdue. And again, we apologize that it took us so long to get a Toledo update out there. Schedules have been crazy. As you can see, we've been lining up interview after interview after interview, and then having time to sit down and edit and go through them, send off copies to those that want to see them in advance, all that fun stuff. It takes time. But Travis is putting up his hand telling me he's got one more thing to say.
There is a part 3 for something that's been done the last 2 summers.
Part 3, that's got like 7 parts to it, bro.
What do you mean?
How many of those episodes did we do?
Well, no, there was Summer 1, Part 1, Summer 2, Part 2. There's a third part, and it's a big one.
It is a big one. It's getting a little stormy out here. That's all we'll say. Now, look forward to sharing that with you. And I said at the beginning of the show, I would tease the next Grand Rapids interview. And I will tell you that the next episode will feature Edwards Trail Max. We were able to catch up with him and his departure from Grand Rapids, even though he was only there for 1 season. Obviously a fan favorite, a favorite of ours too. As you saw all season long, a phenomenal post-game interview. So you can just imagine what a full hour-long podcast interview is going to look like with him. It was fantastic. So please stay tuned for that one. That'll be out early next week for you all. So stay tuned. Enjoy that when it comes, because we are super excited to share it with you. Such a gem that guy is. Still such an incredible mustache. I'll always give him credit for that. But with that, we'll wrap this episode up. Thank you all for tuning in to another episode of the Hockeytown West podcast. We appreciate all the love we've gotten this offseason, especially when we don't post as frequently as we normally do, and you log on and see the listens and views, and you go, oh, sweet, people still care. So thank you all. We love you guys. We appreciate it. Before we go, we got to thank the sponsors of the show, DraftKings and Everything Hockey Clothing Company. When you're betting with DraftKings, use code THPN, and when you're shopping at everythinghockey.com, use code WEST to save a few bucks off your order. We also got to thank our lovely supporters over at patreon.com/Hockeytown West podcast as well. Remember, our Patreon is free for the summer. We'll be dropping content from the Hawk golf outing as soon as we can get some of that edited and get it out to you. We will also let you all know if you're over there. We will make sure you have well advanced notice before we start charging again. And remember, we charge like $1 to $5. Like, we're not in it for the money. We just do extra stuff over there. You get unedited episodes, bonus content throughout the season as well. So we will have that for you guys, and we'll update you as soon as we go back to that. We'll give you about a 2-3 weeks notice before we go back to the paid tiers on there. So you guys are well warned in advance if you don't want to continue paying for it. And we understand if you don't. Money's tight for everybody. It's a tough time out there. So again, thank you to everyone who supported us over there for as long as they have, and any newcomers, thank you as well. And with that, that's all we got to say. I've yapped enough this week. I feel like it's weird doing 2 episodes in a week, buddy. We haven't done this in a while, so my brain's all over the place. But again, thank you all. Everybody have a fantastic week. And as always, go Griffins, go Walleye, and we'll talk to y'all again soon.
Thank you for tuning in to the Hockeytown West podcast. Be sure to check us out on Twitter at HockeytownWPod, and your hosts, Nick at GR Hockey Guy, Brandon at Brandon GR Hockey, and Travis at Trav in T-Town.